Good morning, this is Caitlin from Realty One Group here in Colorado Springs, and today we're going to be talking about the top elementary schools here in the Springs. Now, the very first thing that I want to address is where are these numbers coming from? So we're going to be looking at two different factors here for the schools. The first one is going to be the test scores, and it's rated out of 10. These are based on the 2018 to 2019 CMAS scores. That's a standardized testing that's done at the end of the year that helps to compare the students from different areas in the state of Colorado on one standardized test to see how those schools are performing and teaching the topics that they believe are required for that age, for that grade. The second rating is the equity rating, and that's based on how well that particular school is serving disadvantaged students in comparison to all students in relation to the other schools in the state. They look at things like the college readiness score, their test scores from the State Department of Education, and then how well those students are improving over time. Just to kind of close that gap between what they consider a disadvantaged student and a regular student. All right, the first school that's being recognized is the Broadmoor Elementary School. This is a part of Cheyenne Mountain School District. It's number 12 here in the Springs. And they have a testing score of 10 out of 10, meaning that their students are outperforming most of the schools in the state. And so they are either testing where they're supposed to be, right on point, or well in advance of that. This school is overall rated a 9 out of 10 by greatschools.org. And the reason why is because they don't have an equity rating, just because that particular rating is for disadvantaged students, and most of the demographic that goes to the school, they do not fall within that category. So there's not enough data in order to provide that to them. Now, I thought it would be fun when I talk about these schools to sort of talk about what their mission is, because every school is a little bit different in the way that they do things. So for the Broadmoor Elementary School, their slogan is, "Every day I am respectful, responsible, prepared, proud, and kind." And they really focus, just based on their About Me section of their website, about being committed to inclusion. So they want all of the students and the staff to feel included within their community, and they focus on having really high expectations and that those expectations are met. So they really do strive for excellence at this school. The next school that made the list is Cheyenne Mountain Elementary School. This is also part of District 12 here in Colorado Springs. And they scored a 10 out of 10 in their testing scores, just meaning that they're performing where they should be or excelling compared to other schools in the state. And then they also did not have an equity score, just meaning that their students, there wasn't a large enough demographic pool for kids that met that criteria in order for them to get that score. This school, they have a slogan as well, and it is empowering students by having accountability to others and ourselves, by giving time and talents to the learning process, to ensure excellence for all in a safe and supportive environment. And I also wanted to add in that I will put a link to each school below so that you're able to kind of explore them if you're moving into state or maybe just thinking of enrolling into a different one. The third school that I have is actually in District 11, and it's named Chipeta Elementary School. I'm going to spell that just since it's a different name for me to say. It is Chipeta, and again, I'll have a link below. Now, this school is a 10 out of 10 in test scores, but it's also a 10 out of 10 in equity, just meaning that they do have some underprivileged students there, and they're able to close that gap so effectively. And so that's just something really cool to see, especially in our city. Now, they have a little bit of a different approach. They do self-directed learning, and they work to do collaboration with taking risks with their students and being involved in the community. So just a little bit of a different approach. Some cool things that were outlined on their website is that they do STEM and engineering programs at their school, as well as some student council-led service to the community. They also have received awards, which is great, from the National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, as well as the Colorado John Irwin School of Excellence. And they've earned those for multiple years. So that's wonderful. And again, I'll have the link to their school below as well if you want to explore some of those different things. The last school to be recognized is from District 3, and it's called Martin Luther King Jr Elementary School. They scored an 8 out of 10 on their testing scores, just meaning that some of the students at the school are not performing where they should be. However, they have a 10 out of 10 in equity, just showing that they are closing the gap between their underprivileged kids and all students. And then they also had a progress score, just showing that they have year after year gotten better. And you can look at that at greatschools.org, but they are just doing a great job at bringing their kids up. Some of the things that they focus on at that school are communication, student achievement, health and wellness, safety and security, and community engagement. Now, I do want to point out, so these 4 schools were the only ones that scored a 9 out of 10. However, there are great schools in every single district here, as well as different ratings based on the middle schools and high schools. So we just focused on elementary today. And then I also wanted to bring up that if you live in an area and you are not within one of these school districts and you would like to be, you can enroll still by choice into a different district. So that is an option too if you just want to put your child in a high-ranking school. Now, all the information that I talked about is going to be linked in the video notes below, and you are able to click on those and just kind of explore. And then I'll also put greatschools.org down so that you can look if you live in a different city and take advantage of this amazing resource that we have. All right, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye-bye.